So, meeting is being recorded by the mayor's task force against domestic and sexual violence. If any other persons present are doing the same, you must notify the chairperson at this time. Do we have someone to volunteer as a note taker?
I can do them on my phone right now.
That'd be great. Oh, no, here's Amanda.
Oh, Amanda, you're note taking, yes? Yes. Okay, perfect.
And Naomi is on her way.
Oh, love that,
Okay,
even
great.
better.
Okay,
And probably Katie.
Oh, good. Look at us.
all right. Let's just do a quick roll call. Megan,
Here.
Naomi, not here. Katie's not here. Scott,
Here.
Amanda,
Here.
I'm here. Counselor Perry.
I'm here.
All right, and that gives us a quorum. We do need to elect a chairperson. So that's first thing on the agenda. So would anyone like to nominate someone else or themselves as chairperson?
I'll nominate Jonathan.
Okay. Shots.
I guess I'm curious if anyone's willing to be a chairperson.
Right, I wonder if Naomi or Katie is interested.
I'm certainly
think-
willing to do it.
That is great. If you're willing to do it, I think that's great. And maybe if someone else could do it later. I don't think Naomi's going to be available to be the chairperson, just sort of knowing some of her upcoming commitments for this fall.
Yeah.
I'm done in
happy-
December, so that makes me an unlikely candidate.
Right.
John, I'm always happy to help out with stuff. I can't be the chairperson, I think, because I'm no longer a voting member, but I'm happy to
Okay.
help out with any logistics. Like, I'm always happy if you want me to draft an agenda or do something like that, like, feel free to ask me. If there's
Yeah,
any like background.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. I think my only hesitancy is I'm not a subject matter expert. And I don't know a lot about what you all have been doing. Obviously, I'll learn.
So if someone were the
So-
chairperson, you would still be the one who is sending the Zoom links and posting the agenda on the website.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I would still do all that sort of logistical stuff. So the chairperson really,
I know, Howard.
the chairperson really would be more responsible for coming up with what's going to be on the agenda. I could certainly help with that. But that's the part that would be hardest for me, just because I don't know this stuff the way that you.
Yeah, but I think we've all kind of collectively built the agenda, like as
Sure,
we've
yep.
talked, so I think we'll be all
Yep.
right.
Totally, okay. So any other nominations?
You're nominating a chairperson.
And
And
we
you-
nominated Jonathan, so he's a
And you can nominate yourself. You're-
Okay. Who's John?
Jonathan right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nice to
we
meet
haven't
you.
met in person.
no,
Nice
just
to meet
via
you.
email.
I'm replacing Matt.
Great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. I'll nominate John.
Okay,
We've got a second there, wait on your nomination for Jonathan, which is fantastic.
okay, well, if there are no other nominations, I think we can go on to a voice vote for election. And if there are any opposed to me being chairperson, speak now, I guess.
Congratulations.
All right, there we go.
I
okay.
apologize, Jonathan, but it just makes the best sense to me, to you, because you're so involved in the mayor's office and all that stuff.
Yeah, totally. And I'm totally happy to do it. So thank you all for your vote of confidence, and I look forward to acting as chairperson.
For doing it, and
Um,
hopefully it's not a big lift, but if you ever do need help with stuff, please let us know, because I think we're all pretty much happy to jump in, and it's this task force is not generally like much I don't know, time and intense stuff, except for like things, sort of specific projects we decide to do.
Yeah, no, it has totally not been a big lift yet, and I don't imagine it being so. So happy to do it. Okay. Is there any public comment? I don't think we have anyone. Well, we do actually have some people from the public. So is there any public comment?
Not on my end.
Okay, so we'll close public comment. And new business. So I'll introduce myself a little bit. I'm Jonathan Weber. I'm the new communications director for the mayor's office. I grew up in Northampton, was living in Vermont for like the past 10 years, so just moved back in the spring. And very happy to be joining the city. My background is more in kind of urban planning and transportation planning in particular. So the work that you all do is very new to me. It's not something I've spent a lot of time thinking about, but I'm really interested in it and excited to be working with you all. So happy to be here and thanks for welcoming me onto the committee.
Sorry.
So that's me, and I think we can move on to the next item under new business, which was discussion of requesting a mayoral proclamation for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is in October. Someone want to volunteer to speak to this one a little more?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Came up with it, right?
Yeah, so the mayor did a proclamation for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And does one for Children's Advocacy Month. And really, it's just like a statement made by the mayor saying that like domestic violence is bad. And we would prefer that Greenfield doesn't have domestic violence. And she supports and the city supports all efforts to like educate and eradicate DV. So when the mayor has to agree to do it, but ultimately last time the chief of staff read the proclamation.
Yeah.
And so that's essentially the extent of it. And we can like post the reading somewhere. It can be very small. It can be, but it's essentially because this is the mayor's domestic violence task force, it's probably like a good show of support. It could also happen on October 23rd. Oh no, it's in Turner's Falls. Never mind. Right, it would be awkward. Yeah.
What is that?
Just because it's the mayor of Greenfield and we're hosting an event in Turner's. So it's technically like not the same.
But like it's the Franklin County-wide Domestic Violence Task Force, not just our task force.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh,
for the difference, yeah.
So there is a, like a fall public safety festival that's happening on Friday, October 10th, and that's at the fairgrounds.
So,
And that is involving like anything that would encompass like first response, co-response, DV, like all of that, that might be a great place to do it. Because it's a big family event as well.
What's the date for that?
That's Friday, October 10th at 4 p.m.
Is that our version of National Night Out?
No, they've done the Fall Public Safety Festival in Sunderland the last couple times, and it's now moving. This year it's going to be at Franklin County Fairgrounds. I think next year it's going to be at the Tri-County Fairgrounds.
Nice.
But this is literally going to have like every entity that you can think of there. So that might be
Okay.
a cool thing to do. So
Okay.
food for thought.
Good. Yeah, well, I will certainly speak with the mayor about it, and I'm sure she will be up for doing it again. So that sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Megan.
Because there's like going to be a stage and musicians and stuff
Yeah,
too. So
That's
it's
perfect.
really,
Everyone's already
yeah,
gathered.
they're already kind of there.
We could table there.
Yeah, there's people that'll be reaching out. Don't worry. I might be one of the coordinators.
I just sent it to
Maybe.
my community organizer.
Yeah,
Like,
there you
do you
go.
know about
I have
this?
the flyer. No, probably not, because I think it hasn't been sent out to everybody yet, but I will send the flyer out in an email to us, and it can be posted on the city website too. So, because it's open to
Sounds
the
good.
public.
Okay, cool. Next up on the agenda was discussion of goals for the upcoming year. So at our last get together, we won't call the meeting, so we didn't have a quorum. But one of the things we chatted about was just setting some high level goals for this coming year. So if folks have things in mind that they think that the committee should really be focusing on in a big way over the next 12 months, I think now is a good time to offer those up, and then we can start to work on them in a more focused way in the coming meetings.
I think one of the things that would be helpful is to look at what's already happening and then join forces with those things. Because we don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Or
I think-
duplicate efforts.
Right. I think we just need to partner and kind of be a little bit more public on our partnerships. Because we are a task force, so we should have some sort of task that we're attaining here. But I think there's so so many people know of different things that are happening and that we can just kind of jump on board and whether we're behind the scenes assisting, you know, with manpower of something or ideas or, you know, learning about grants, things like that. I'm sure there's lots of options.
Support in applying for grants for shelter. More housing. More funds for hotels.
Even, yeah. That's a side conversation because there's, we're getting a lot of referrals for people who aren't necessarily domestic violence, but they're chronically homeless and they've had DV maybe in their history. And CSO specifically is sending us a huge portion of people who have perhaps been living in like a tent for 2+ years, and a short-term hotel stay isn't going to advance their housing options.
Yeah.
So like we can do 3 or 4 days, and then we typically had them apply for all the shelters, but if they're not open to shelter, it's not an effective intervention. But we've spent a bunch of money, and we recently had someone who took every linen from the hotel room they were in and was not open to shelter. So we really need people who are willing to go into shelter. And so we're working on some of the referral processes to make sure that we're getting the appropriate people, because we really only have, like, the state gave us $24,000 this year for hotel and like emergency assistance, which last year we spent 30,000 and they only gave us 10,000. So huge increase, very happy about that. But like the hotel where we put people, it's not, we have people who will call and say like, I'm at the hotel now and I have DV and I want you to give me a hotel stay. And that language typically isn't great just for like, we provide a litany of services, and typically people engage in our services in safety planning, in shelter, in counseling, in court advocacy. But when they're saying that, and then they say, and I know you've given someone else a hotel voucher, it's like, it's really someone who is houseless, who's in need of support, and they're running out of support options. So that's kind of like the broader umbrella, is that we have an acute housing crisis and lots of people are homeless. And we don't have a shelter in Franklin County for domestic violence, but we also don't have enough shelter for people who are homeless due to other factors.
So going back to our task list here, I think maybe what we should be doing is highlighting the services that are in the city.
Yeah.
Like maybe each month we do something that highlights a specific agency or a specific service that assists people in domestic violence situations, because I feel like some of that is that people don't know what's like what's out there, what's available. And we have a platform like, you know, social media, the city website, like all of our things
That's an agenda item, actually.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I think it's what is available, and it's also what the services don't do as well as what they can do. I know that we want to have sort of really like the sort of no wrong doors, you know, you're always welcome in any of the services kind of feeling. And I really super support that, having done nonprofit, you know, community-based work for most of my career, but also it's really not helpful for individuals or for agencies when people are like calling Nelquit from the Red Roof Inn and being like, hey, we're here. And like, you have to give me a hotel stay because you gave it to so-and-so who I met last week. Like, that's actually not helpful for them, because Nelquit's going to have, or sorry, you're new. You have to say, you know, no, I'm sorry, that's not what we do. So if there's a way of sort of making it clarifying as well as welcoming, I wonder if that could help to reduce some of the confusion and reduce that stress on people thinking that they're going to get a service that they can't, and on agency staff who are being told that they're supposed to do something that they actually can't.
Yeah, we literally just had this conversation yesterday. The people who deal with like walk-ins in our crisis line are like, people are angry at us because we can't give them what they want because it's like not appropriate. And it's like, yes, like really, that's all I can say is like, yes, they're in a difficult spot. They need support. They want us to support them, but it's not an appropriate move because we have a limit, like the state puts a limit on how much financial assistance we can provide an individual in a year. And we can go beyond that if we're not using state funds, but we want those things to be the thing that gets someone into an apartment, or keeps them housed, or makes the difference between employment and unemployment. We're trying to have like the pivotal shift, not like the extension of what is like a current situation, or allowing someone one night of rest so that they can store up and then go back to the abusive situation, which is sometimes when people are calling, they're saying like, I just need one night away. They're not a good example of someone who should get a hotel stay, because psychologically, they're not saying, I need to get away and stay away. They're saying like, I just need a little bit of time so that I can go back and keep managing this. And so we try and do a lot of minds, like trying to dig into where people's mindset is. And yeah, again, also the hotels that we use are becoming like less and less safe, because all agencies are using the same like limited options. So we're having to go further out, and transportation continues to be a huge issue.
Well,
So those are just,
maybe there's a way to meld the two, as I'm listening to the issue, it comes to mind that maybe the issue is not only telling them what services are available locally, but how do we educate them to the nuances of that you're all talking about? And I don't, maybe putting the two together in some forum. I mean, I don't know. Just a thought.
yeah. I really think the overarching issue is that other agencies are hitting their limit on how much they can expend for an individual, and they're looking for other services. And they know that we do emergency hotel stays. And so they're referring to us, even if it's not a great fit, because they're also out of options. So it's kind of like this, we hate sending someone away, right? Because they end up in this circle. CSO sent us to RCFC, who sent us to ServiceNet, who sent us to Respite, who sent us, and like it just keeps going. And what everyone's offering is like a short-term option, which like maybe the mayor's DV task force could come out in favor of some of like the housing efforts that are being made in Greenfield, because there's a lot of pushback, but people are mad about the homeless situation in Greenfield, but then they're mad about the housing efforts. And so being able to even like find a way to communicate, like people who are experiencing domestic violence, the leading cause of homelessness, like that their homelessness is caused by domestic violence, and more housing supply helps them. Like we could help someone with a down payment to get into an apartment. Like we can make that, whatever Raft can't extend to, we can cover like sometimes. And that can get them housed and safe, and that makes Greenfield a stronger city. Like that kind of information I think is important, because right now there's just a lot of people who are against the housing efforts, but there's no apartments available, really.
That's the big problem. Here in that respect. I was just thinking about what you were all saying, because this is happening in another region that I cover. In Western Mass. So you're not, I mean, and this is a statewide concern. This is a health and human service matter that we really need to think about more closely. But I'm thinking also, what about bringing in housing, like working with housing authorities and maybe doing some informational sessions for the community to talk about what options are? Possibly, I know at DPPC, we work really closely with DPH through their linkage program, and they actually have a person that they could be assigned to for case management services, at least for like 3 months. And housing, one of the things that we've been doing is sending referrals over to the linkage program, and they're able to meet with this case manager for at least and work on housing applications, seeing what's in the area, and then having that conversation about a willingness. I understand that people's homes are where they are. Like this is your community, but thinking about, would you go maybe to the Northeast? Would you consider going like to Central, where, we're such a rural area, and this is where we really are, our sense of being deficit is pretty considerable out in Western Massachusetts. Great part of the state, but we do not have a plethora of resources. Like as you start moving into central, the Northeast, the Metro Boston region, South Central. So it's something to consider when we're, because even that's what we're doing at the commission. We're looking at a statewide approach, what's happening, and it's happening everywhere. But maybe collaborating as we're talking about partnerships and all of that with housing authorities, landlords, things like that. What on the private end, more public, seeing what we can do to kind of mitigate and help out the community a little bit more, because it is, people are tented, people are sleeping out, under the most egregious situations, and you're being pigeonholed by a person calling and saying, hey, I know this is what you're doing, but this is not really, there's a fine line. You want to help, but you also know why this call is happening, because community does speak, right? There's going to be conversations amongst others. Oh, well, Milkwood did this for me. You just have to say this word. You just have to say this statement, and then you should get, some, services. So it's hard because then you're going to be depleted in 3 months with the funding that you were given from the state. So just some things to think about, because we don't do direct services at DPPC for an investigations agency, but we're seeing like trends, and we're seeing patterns, and the referrals that we are getting to connect folks into the community. A lot of it, as stated here, is an increase of housing factors. So some things, like I said, maybe having conversations with housing authorities, like I said, landlords, anything. And I'm more than happy to help and support that as well. And get engaged in the community more, because this is a reason why I came onto this task force. So thank you, Amanda and Katie. So thank you. So please utilize us. We're a support partner with us at on the end for SAR, and we're more than happy to be, at the table and be, partner within the community as needed.
So far, it's sounding like a focus on understanding what's happening, what partnerships are already out there and available to us, and then a real effort around communication and that kind of partnership building and helping people understand what the resources are that are out there. That's what I'm hearing so far. Question for me, what do you all look to measure progress? Are there data sets that you use? What historically has the task force looked at to understand if it's working effective?
I'm not sure that's ever been done. I don't think any of us have been here long enough to know that.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of.
Well, yeah, I was saying a lot of might.
And Katie
more.
Rosewarne.
Yeah.
Katie collects data. Have you met her?
Not yet.
She works, she's the director of the domestic violence sexual assault unit at the DA's office.
Yeah.
And so they have to collect data. So she definitely has it.
Yeah.
In regards to the work that we do here, based on what you guys are saying, we haven't.
I don't think we've really done anything to track anything either.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, the only thing we've done was we did a survey one year to create a sort of positive social marketing campaign about domestic violence. So we did a survey where we asked Greenfield residents questions about their thoughts about domestic violence. And then we did a billboard campaign that said 95% of Greenfield residents would would help someone or call 911 if they heard something. I can't remember exactly which one we chose in the end. We did a survey with a bunch of different things. And then we picked a couple that had good kind of responses. So that's the data that we've done specifically for the task force. Other than that, we've just used other data. And then also, Naomi and I work with Communities That Care Coalition, and we do have data for Greenfield, both for Greenfield High School. Who's riding? And here's Naomi. Oh, are you okay? Good. Okay. It's fine, it's fine. Are you okay? Okay,
Mom life.
sorry, I'm harming my child in front of everyone. So, we have data for 8th, 10th, and 12th graders, for, Greenfield, high school students, and also for Four River students, many of whom are from Greenfield. That include questions about, domestic and sexual, or dating violence and sexual violence that they've experienced. So that's something else that we could certainly, provide. We would need to get the, superintendent's permission to share Greenfield specific data. Usually we just share regional data, which is all of the Franklin County and North Quabbin region.
I know that we've talked previously about like sliding some sort of like notice into like bills that go back home. Like, you know, we talked about like water bills or tax bills or something that go out to
Yeah.
residents. Like maybe that's something that we put into effect this year as a task.
That would be awesome. I think that kind of like consistency would be amazing. So I love that idea.
What do you envision for that?
So there's a task force, I think it's like the Ware River Valley Task Force, and they got approval to put insert in to water bills that includes resources in the, like, just a small front and back of resources, but it included DV resources on it. So people could put it on their fridge or they could have it around and they wouldn't necessarily, like if someone's in a DV situation, having a pamphlet from a DV agency is not ideal. They're gonna get rid of that, so they're not at risk. But if it's just like, this is a community meal, so we could put Stone Soup on there, we could put RCFC, Salison Project, but also like community action and like we could pick 10 resources.
QR code to the walking. map on
Exactly,
there
the
too.
QR
Like, there's a
code,
lot of
yeah.
things that could be.
And it
incorporated
shouldn't
in that.
cost, beyond printing, it shouldn't cost any money because the postage is already paid for. It's just coordinating with whoever sends out the like water bills or even the annual like property tax notices, and it just reaches a huge number of people.
Yeah, that's something I can look into. I have at least been told once about one case where someone looked into this and found that we're using a third-party vendor for a lot of our mailings, so it's not as straightforward as like calling up a friend in the mailing office and.
But I wonder if that
But
maybe
it
that's
may be
something we
possible.
partner with like the schools instead. Cause that
Yeah,
at least
could
reaches
be.
a population of people, even if it's not everyone, it's a group of people. Like if we
Yeah.
just, you know, partner with an entity that sends out mailings.
Yeah.
And I have a close relationship with the super assistant teacher.
So
Yeah,
I love
that's
the idea.
interesting.
We've tried to do that before for communities that care. We used to send stuff home with like report cards and stuff. But a lot of the schools are not sending out paper copies of things. So Naomi, maybe you could find out what's still paper copies. Because I think more and more stuff is digital. But
I
I love
have a
that.
meeting with them on in a week. So
Awesome.
I could bring it up then.
Yeah, and I can ask around in the city with the departments that send things out.
That's great. Yeah, and I think that the schools really like, actually, just in terms of like Megan's idea about the schools, like it's hard to do for the whole city, even though I would love that. The schools actually really like being able to share resources. So if they do have a time when they're doing something that is a paper copy, like a report card, I think slipping in something that includes resources is actually really nice for them. And my guess is that the counseling team at GHS might want to like even weigh in on this, and then would be like a potential opportunity for partnership. And I know all those folks well. I'm sure like Naomi knows a bunch of them too. But I think that they'd be really into it. So that's a thought.
Yeah.
Naomi, is there a time when the schools annually do a kind of dating violence, proper relationship assembly or anything?
Yeah, what month is it? It's consent week is that in April or May?
Oh, there's Dating Violence Awareness Month. It's not April, that's Sexual Violence Awareness Month.
So they've often sometime between April and June done either
wait.
consent week or a healthy
February.
relationships week.
February is National Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month.
I was
Well, these-
tabling at Frontier in April or May.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
they did
April was
Sexual Assault
probably,
Awareness Month
yeah.
and they had their own consent week. But I also see Consent Awareness Week is September 15th to the 19th.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I
Well,
ask is that that might be the appropriate time to send something home to kind of, the kids are aware of it, and when it comes home, drives a little more awareness within the household.
Also,
I-
if the schools are willing, we could send something in the fall and something in the spring. Like,
Yep.
I know that they have back to school club tabling event that all the students go to and they check out their clubs and whatnot. No, we're not a club, but I find any excuse to get in there and pass out healthy relationship curriculum. So I feel like this would be a great opportunity to do that. Just like, here's a healthy relationship quiz. Here's what consent means.
do you know when that is?
I just
Sorry,
texted my
happening?
student to find out.
It's great.
It might be next week, so it's coming up quick, but I do have the ability to show up.
We have a
Even if
lot
it's
of,
just me.
yeah, I was gonna say we have a lot of materials if you want
Great.
to
Yeah.
disperse them.
Okay, anything else on goals for the coming year? Do we get to move on?
I would love to get One Love curriculum in the Greenfield High School. That's something we're working on at Communities That Care. So One Love curriculum is health teachers give it out to their students. Teaching them boundaries, healthy relationship, refusal skills, consent, safe sex, things like that. Well, I don't know about safe sex, but like consensual sex.
Yeah, One Love is awesome, and it's really like more nuanced about a lot of things, so it's a
Yeah.
great curriculum.
Yeah.
I need to go pretty soon, but I'm wondering, could we possibly talk about the walking map before I go? I don't mean to like mess up the agenda, but
Yeah, I
I
feel
think
ready
it's
to move on.
soon.
Yeah, I think we can, maybe we can shift that up. So we got maps.
Yay.
Alana, can I ask you a question before you start? Alana,
Go ahead, Council Perry.
Sure.
have you heard from Counselor Brown yet? Counselor Brown, she's chairing the subcommittee, the ad hoc subcommittee on the unhoused, and they were working on a map of their own. So I mentioned to them that we had a map as well, and I gave Counselor Brown your contact information. So you'll probably be hearing from her about our walking map. Just to give you a heads up if you haven't heard from her yet. I gave her your email.
Did you share the final version that went to print with us? You might
I
have.
think Alana sent it to me,
Okay.
but I can send it to everyone else. Yeah.
It's on
So yeah, here,
Site too, right?
here are the maps and we're checking out a little more.
It's nice paper.
That's,
Oh, this one's the,
Yeah, this one's in,
yeah, so there's Russian, here's Spanish.
I was like, oh, I
So
can't read that.
Naomi, will you grab an extra one to put on my desk?
Oh,
Sorry?
they look great.
Naomi, will you grab an extra one and put it on my desk? I'll be in the office in a little bit.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you so much. That's exciting. Thanks so much, Jonathan, for getting that done. That's really awesome.
Well, all I did was pick them up.
Yeah, do you have a preference on your?
I do go by Jonathan, yeah.
Benefits? Got it.
Well, thank you. It's good to know.
I'm an Amanda, not a Mandy.
That's a
That didn't even cross my mind.
bit of a lead. So I think we're conducting a review of the printed order details and the maps. So I think we should talk now about distributing them. Folks have thoughts on where they should go and then.
Well, if we are having a table at the fair, which
Yeah.
I assume we're still doing that. It might be good to just have like a couple copies, or like we can have like a laminated one that has the QR code on it. That would be good to like leave at the table type of thing.
Yeah.
Or if we have some that like that kind that we can then put up in places like the library, the police department, like et cetera. I know we had talked a little bit about that. I just don't know if that came to fruition. but I can take a couple copies of things back to the PD.
Yeah, I can certainly put some up in City Hall. Um. Who was the lead on the fair table?
That would be.
That was you?
Mhm.
Okay. How's it going?
I mean, I secured the spot, like,
Okay.
that's really what it comes down to,
Okay.
is that when you walk into the fair, to the left is usually where you see like the police SOV. Next to us, there will be a spot, so that way we can make sure, and like everything's right there, that's manned, like,
Okay.
you know, someone's there.
Yeah,
But I can assure you that the police department's likely not going to be paying attention to the table a whole lot. So I'm there Friday a little bit, Saturday a little bit, and Sunday a little bit. But I have other responsibilities during that time, so I'll be checking in with it, but we have to kind of figure out that whole thought process there.
We're planning to have a table there every day.
So we can, I mean, I think the conversation was that we're accepting donations, right, for,
Okay.
but I don't know how much that has been advertised. If we come up with some sort of social media flyer or media release, it can get posted on, you know, the fair can put it out as well. So I would assume anyway, I talked to Mike briefly last night. I can confirm with him that if we have something that he'd be willing to put that information out.
and I can put something out too, and I can create all the graphics and things. I will need some information on what we're looking for donations.
Great.
Right.
Is that just clothing in general?
So I would say hygiene products.
Yes, we talked, and we had kind of given like a good list before, which would include like, you know,
Yeah.
toothpaste, toothbrushes, shampoo, feminine hygiene, like all sorts of
So maybe.
variety of things that it's nice. I think people need to see labels.
Socks,
Yeah, like,
even hot packs.
You think there's a list in previous minutes?
yeah,
I'm
looking.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
get going in a minute here. Do you want to talk any more about the walking map, or are we done with that part? I think we had talked about kind of getting them to the agencies that were listed at least, and I'd be happy to sign up to do a bunch of those.
Oh, yeah, that was the question before we got derailed.
That was, yeah. Why don't I make a little spreadsheet with the locations on the walking maps and other places where they could go, and then we can each sort of volunteer to drop off there, and we'll figure out. I don't even know how many of each we have in each language, so we'll have to distribute that quantity.
I think that sounds great, and I think we can pass out some, you know, to each of the agencies, and then we can let them know that, you know, they can direct people to the website, and also that they can make more copies, and then if they need more copies and they can't afford to make more copies, maybe we can find some other funding to do some additional copies. Does that sound sort of like a good next step? I'm happy to bring it to a few. Jonathan, are you allowed to use like a Google Sheets, so it's something we could all access, and Comton, or does it need to be an Excel spreadsheet? I'm not sure what you're able to do.
I am allowed to Google, thankfully.
Okay,
So
Awesome.
we'll work in a shared Google sheet.
great, awesome. So yeah, then if we can sign up and everyone can see who's signed up for what, that sounds perfect. I'm sorry to be interrupting that other conversation, because I know the fair conversation is also important, but just since I need to take off, I didn't want to take off without offering to help at least.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Totally good.
See you soon, Alana.
Thanks, Alana.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. And Jonathan, glad to know you're Jonathan and not John. Sorry, I had that wrong at first.
That's all good. No worries. Thanks.
Everyone,
Um,
thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So I'll work on that spreadsheet and check previous minutes for the list of things we're looking for.
I just sent you a list that I sent Matt last year.
Okay. Oh, perfect. So I'll come up with some graphics and things, and then just share with you guys to make sure it all looks good. Okay, anything else on the maps or the fair?
Okay. Once we have the flyer, we can post it on our social media. You'll probably distribute it. If you have any mechanism for distribution. Great. And then, during the fair, we will have this table. We'll have a box of things, hopefully. People will be putting them inside the box. We will occasionally be there. Should we talk about like who and when?
Yeah, we should have a sign up sheet.
Yes.
What are even I never go to the fair. I actually avoid it like the plague, so it's giving me anxiety thinking
Yeah.
about it.
So like I just looked at my schedule there, so I am there Friday from 6 to 10. But again, like I can't stand at a table.
Right,
so-
right.
But I can check in at a table. So I'm there from 6 to 10 on Friday. Saturday, I'm through to 11, and Sunday I will be up there probably about 12:30-ish
Wow.
until
Opens at
like 6:30.
8 AM on Saturday and
It's the
Sunday.
best time to get some fries down.
Are we
you know?
okay?
What I can do though is ensure that on the days that I am there, that whatever product was dropped off, I will then take with me at the end of the day.
Okay.
I can throw it in my cruiser and deal with it come Monday. So anything that we've collected in the time frame, I'll be sure to take possession of Friday night, Saturday and Sunday night.
Also, seeing like I just realized we advertised for donations?
Not yet, no.
And it's a week away. So my expectations of getting donations are low. My expectations of getting information out are high.
Correct. So that's kind of the thing is like, that's when you have like the walking map. And if we are able to, like I said, like if we're able to laminate some information too, so that it's like, if you at any point want to donate, here's resources to donate to, or whatever, like, so I think it could be,
Do we still have pens or did we hand those out at the last fair?
well, we have our
parade?
banner, so we can put that on the table. We should be able to somehow figure that out.
What shifts are realistic for us to have? Should we have like a couple 4-hour, like 2 4-hour shifts for volunteering for the table? Like 10 to whatever. I mean, 8 AM, I'm fine with getting there at 8, but that feels
I feel like it's
unnecessary.
not a great
rather
use
than
of time,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, things probably pick up a lot
I'm like,
afternoon.
yeah,
Yeah.
great.
We're talking about next weekend, correct?
Mhm. Yeah, cancel your plans.
It starts on the 4th,
Yes.
Thursday, yeah.
Are you walking in it?
Yes, I am.
So we could, if we wanted to, as a task force. I am not volunteering for that.
I'm already walking. I got a free shirt out of it, so I.
Being at the fair is enough.
I think honestly, if we were to just put a table with information and have people checking in occasionally at the table, I think it's like, if there's flyers there, if there's,
Can we take cash donations?
that's a question I can't answer. I don't know.
More complicated than.
Yeah.
Some donations.
Yeah, I think there's some nuances to that where like,
Who can handle money, what we can
Yeah,
receive,
And then
right?
the city can.
Yeah.
receive Donations.
I don't know how
Right.
that
Doubt
works.
it.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
it's like,
RCFC right now is a conduit for the Franklin County DB Task Force donation. So like we hold the money in a pot and then when purchases are made by the task force, it's like if people wanted to donate to the task force, we could have a separate donation QR code and be specific to the task force. We'd hold the money to then purchase items that you all decided to purchase, but I think the question is like, what do we want to purchase? Or so it could be like, if we had a specific goal, then that might be the right time to. Or it could be like donate to Basic Needs Drive for purchasing, and then whatever
Yeah.
money is donated. I would need a second just for someone to like be my like fiscal, like
Mhm.
ethical fiscal, like I can say like, this is how much money was dropped into the PayPal for basic needs donations. This is how much we can purchase with that based on that information. This is how we'll distribute it to these.
yeah, I think we have to first find out if we can even do that. So that would
Yeah.
probably be,
can they donate to RCFC at that table?
I'm sure we could put any sort of thing down there that's like
Yeah.
I'm sure all of these websites have like a donate now button.
Yeah.
So like if we were to, that's what I'm saying, like an informational kind of thing would be.
Helpful.
Yes.
We have a specific, right now, we have a specific donation line that's specific to emergency housing. So people could like
Oh, love that.
donate to that.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't, I
have to
just
head out.
wonder,
I'm so sorry.
I've-
I do have.
Bye,
to-
Jacqueline.
Thank you for
Bye,
coming.
take care, everyone. Thank you.
I just, by Jacqueline, I just, I think what I hear Naomi saying is we can do this map and do it well. And I am concerned about the drop off of things, because who's really going to come to the fair? Who might know about it? And maybe it's more productive if we had some kind of flyer or list or social media thing that said, here's where you can donate, and take out the middle person, which would be us at the fair, and
Mhm.
donate directly to those places, given the time frame that we have.
We did, the winter carnival advertisement was also a little delayed and the pickup options were not ideal. Basically not ideal for the whole thing. But we did get like, I don't know, like 3 like tubs full of items. And I know that made community action was psyched about it because it went to their family center. We were excited, and I know Salison Project got some as well. So even though it wasn't like a great showing, it was more than nothing. So if our goal is really like information and visibility, and it has this side effect of also collecting a few donations, it doesn't hurt. Like if we get
Right.
6 more, but I mean, we just had someone at our basic needs pantry that took like 3 bags of stuff. And I was like, that's a lot of shampoo and conditioner to take. And yet, like, you probably have a network of people that you're distributing this to.
Hopefully.
So in like, I have thoughts, but hopefully like anything is better than nothing in this current climate.
Yeah. I think, so if in any advertisement that we do, we can put out like, come see our table if you'd like to donate items such as soon as you walk in, we need to say exactly where it is, because when you walk in, it's over to the left. And it's over near where like the bathrooms are near the Greenville Police SOV, you'll see the mayor's task force banner, or like,
Yeah.
you know, something like that. So I don't think it's a bad idea to like say there's a place to drop things off, but I think it's good to have like these agencies, these resources need more assistance. Let's put that information out there, and then
There's like Facebook, Greenfield Facebook groups, right?
there's all sorts of stuff.
I'm
that we
not
can put all
on
this
social,
stuff
so I
on.
know, I hear about things through the grapevine.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Is your life
Something.
better?
Yeah.
We can talk about it after.
yes,
It is better.
it's been like,
Uh,
you're not, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like 5 years,
Yes.
chilling. Hence why going in a big social setting, I'm like. So, yeah, if we could post something on there. Does the mayor have an Instagram?
We post with the city's Instagram.
Yeah.
The city's Instagram? Okay. It's a good idea. And then what, Bear Country? Is that still a thing?
You have to pay for that stuff.
Of course you do.
So.
Of course.
It would also be, I think they pre-tape, so it would be too late to get.
Yeah.
On
But
the
I
radio.
think like we would need to supply a table, like a folding table. And to put the banner up, and then,
Mhm.
you know, whatever materials we're putting on this table. And like I said, I can check periodically through my shifts, and any donated items I'll throw in my freezer.
If anyone's there on Thursday, I am walking to the fair.
I'm gonna hold your things for you.
And it's like, if somebody brings the banner and the table, I'll help with the setup once I'm done with the walk.
Do we get free admission?
You get free admission at
Do we get free admission?
I would think that, I would think so. Let me talk with Mike about it, because there's like vendor stuff.
Yeah,
So that if you're working as a vendor, I was supposed to meet with him at 1 o'clock today. We were scheduled anyway, so. But I am gonna talk to him.
but you just let us know.
Yeah. Maybe actually just send a text right now while I'm thinking about it, because I'll forget later.
Is this gonna be your first time going to the fair?
Will be, yeah.
Oh. I went last year. Cause we walked, Janine handed out like 6 bags of candy along, because what the fair, you'll see, it's just hundreds of kids lining the street, like
Right.
going
Where-
crazy to
where
get
does
to,
the-
Wid handed out so much candy last year. I pulled the wagon.
How long is the walk?
It's from the
It's
middle
like
school
2.3
to the fair.
miles.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I did it, the last time I did it was when I was a senior in high school, I think.
Yeah.
Which was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, then I funnel cake next to the mayor.
I just want to make sure I have sort of my full understanding of what we're thinking we're doing. So at the fair, we want to have the walking maps. We want to have a bin for donations of items. And we want to promote financial donations to organizations.
I think we could get community actions donation code. I keep saying community action because they're family, like.
Yeah,
it's
no,
something
I
that
think
family
that's-
based,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Community Action, Salison Project, and RCFC. And then I don't know if Children's Advocacy Center might want a donation code.
Oh, that's good.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
so they have their Hope and Healing Breakfast on the 12th.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to.
Ellen, I bet they will.
Yeah,
What was that last one?
No.
Family project?
the
Got it.
Community Advocacy Center,
Yes.
or excuse me, Children's Advocacy Center. I was like,
Yes.
the first word is not correct.
Franklin County.
CAC, yeah.
Um. It's a lot to put on one graphic.
Well, I'm not saying, I'm
We'll
not
have,
saying
like,
that should be
different
one
ones.
graphic. I'm
Yeah.
saying like our graphic that goes online should
Yeah.
be like, come see our table, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah,
Okay.
at whatever. And then I
Yeah.
think
We
if
have
we
the
were,
plastic things that hold flyers, so they're upright.
yes,
And so we
yes.
could have like Salison Project, Community
Right.
Action, Children's Ad, so that we're talking about the actual table layout. The flyer will just say like, come to our table for
donate
information,
any of these
donations.
items or for monetary donations, QR codes are at the
Yeah,
table.
I can put those
Something.
4 on one piece of paper for the table with QR codes. I think that'll be fine.
Okay.
And then the social flyer is just advertising table donations.
I'm gonna be setting up for the fair on Thursday during the day, I would assume. For work, so.
Bye, Scott.
We'll hopefully be able to get that set up. I would just need to grab like the banner and all that stuff ahead of time. So are you working Thursday during the day, Amanda? Maybe we can just figure that out together. Okay,
Yeah.
Who's the keeper of the banner?
I think it's here somewhere.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Have a look around.
That's why I was eyeing you. I was like, Jonathan.
You're gonna learn so much about domestic violence that you never wanted to learn.
Yeah, yeah.
We're doing the Franklin County DV Task Force is doing like a DV 101 coercive control training.
yeah.
I think in
That'd be great.
like in late September. And I'll send the invite to all the mayor's task force people if you want to attend and learn some of the like lingo and trends, horrific patterns. Be great, yeah.
It is
I bet
really
it's good stuff that I
interesting.
should know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
we'll provide like snacks and coffee.
Cool. Okay. Oh, and laminated maps. That was the other thing.
We have a little laminator at my office if,
Could you do that? Cause I don't think we have one.
yeah,
So if you can take,
I think we have one at the
Several.
COG too.
do you want to spend your time laminating?
I would have an admin do it.
I'm gonna make Gabriella do it. So
I
it's
love
perfect.
laminated things.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can come to my office. and do it.
But unfortunately, we don't have a laminator here, but the laminator that I had in my
Do
old.
you want me to
office,
complain to the mayor for you?
Please do. Yeah.
I think we need a laminator.
They make such a nice, like satisfying calming noise.
Right.
Huh.
And you
We
get
also
the nice
spend so much
fumes.
money at Staples.
Yeah, you're like, this is
Interesting.
quite nice, yeah.
I'm
I did a lot of laminating in my last job.
I'm missing something.
It's actually kind of nice. Okay, so but Amanda, you're gonna do the one. Great.
So Mike Nelson, he's the fair president. He said that, you would need a ticket to enter the fair, but I think they're like $10, right? $12 maybe, something like
Yeah,
that.
but if you march, you get to.
Not marching.
I
I do enough marching as it is right now.
Trust
me.
common ground, you could march in the parade with us. It's your gym. And then you don't have to pay the $10.
It's gonna be like the
Just a
slowest 2.3 mile.
It is.
It
It is a
it's like
lengthy,
painstaking,
yeah.
No, thank you.
Well, I can take some time on Friday to be there at least.
Great.
Yeah, I could
I
go
mean, I'll
during
take
the
any
day.
excuse to not be in the office, so
See Friday at the fair.
I will be there. I have a hair appointment that morning, which is priority.
But like I said, you can count on me Friday and Saturday and Sunday night to make sure it's good to go. What I'll probably do is find like a plastic bin so that at the end of the evening, we can put everything in the plastic bin under the table and then put it back out so that, things just don't get like gross and wet and awry and all of that. So
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you have a bin?
probably, I don't know, my house is bins right now.
It's really question.
Yeah, so likely, I'll see what I can find out.
Do you have an empty plastic bin too?
Okay.
One.
Just, who knows? Who knows, All right.
Okay. Anything else on the fair or distribution of maps?
Jonathan, did I hear you say that the mayor's gonna march in the parade?
Yes,
Okay, but we're
Yeah.
not marching as a task force.
no,
I think everyone is pretty split up anyways.
Yeah, I'm not marching. This is the one day I'm not going to the fair.
All right.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I'll march with the mayor if it's okay. As a counselor.
yeah, I don't feel like I can say that it's okay, but I'm sure the mayor can.
Okay, well, so I'll look for her there.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good.
Jonathan's like.
Nothing against you, Whit, I just don't want to speak on behalf of the mayor.
Been there. It's like,
Um,
let's get off the record, Mitchin.
Yeah.
okay,
First meeting.
I think that's it. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Oh.
adjourn.
We do have, our next meeting is September 23rd. So. I heard Megan make a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
Rosh Hashanah.
All right, aye. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.